I am back again. I wasn't feeling good, but the last time I talked with this, which is about a couple of days ago, but I'm much better now. Um, but anyway, this is part four, and I'm going to finish this discussion on sugar, um, excitotoxins, and utilizing fats instead of glucose for the body fuel. All right. So, but where I stopped at, I was just explaining I gave a brief synopsis of the digestion, the food breakdown. Okay. In our system. So we needed to understand that. And I hope the message was clearly identified for you, okay? That we were consuming too much food, too much processed food, too much sugar, and it's causing us the problem that it's causing us health problems, okay? So I'm bringing this to your attention now, uh, so that we can know that we also have in our system we also have what we call microflorals, which are your good bacteria. They're in that gut, and they help us to digest our sugars, starches, and fibers. Okay, they are found in the grains, the vegetables, and the beans that we eat, and we have an enzyme, a digestive enzyme, but the problem is it cannot digest, it cannot break down those fibers. So we need those microflorals to help us to digest those food, okay? That fiber specifically. But we also need to understand that the brain and the gut have a direct connection to one another as they influences each other by sending signals to the problem cells and to healthy cells as well. The bacteria in the gut controls, y'all hear me? The bacteria in the gut controls the brain and the nervous system as it controls our appetite, the mood swings, the emotions, because there are 90% of serotonin and 50% of dopamine neurotransmitters that lies right there in our gut. Now, let me just tell you briefly what serotonin is, okay? That involves your emotions, depression, your mood controls. Now, while dopamine involves your pleasure feelings, okay? It's your feel good signal or neurotransmitter. All right? That is a chemical signal. But because of the excitotoxicities, and remember, excitotoxicities are those extra additives that we're putting in our food, like the soy, what do you call that? Soy that you put on your Chinese food, your ketchup, your I say I don't use this stuff, Thousand Allens, dressings, okay? Stuff like that. Those extra additives are causing the problem, all right? But because of those excitotoxicities from the food that we're eating, it impacts that gut flora, to make them imbalance, and the bacteria becomes out of control. So the excitotoxicities and the sugars are controlling and influencing our hungry signals. They have a negative effect on the gut bacteria and causing negative consequences like constipation, bloating, emotional and behavioral problems, and many more problems. Okay, yes, I did say emotional and behavioral problems. So if you're sitting there consuming all of the junk food that you know this does not even have nutrients in it, what do you think it's going to do to our brain? And you're not getting the nutrients that you need, the minerals and the nutrients that you need in order to fill your cells up. What do you think is going to happen? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. It will affect your mental stability. Okay. So what those excitotoxins does, is to send signals to the hypothalamus to eat more, even though you're not even hungry. Okay, But because we are eating too much and too much processed food and too much sugar and not even allowing the body to rest properly, we are constantly replenishing the storing of sugar in the glycogen, as the food will not even have a chance to go to the fat stores. And we need that sugar to go to the fat stores to regenerate fuels, for energy, and to repair, clean, and heal the cells. But you got to understand this. You need to understand that there are two main fuels for the body, okay? And they are your sugar and fats. And the sugar is stored in the liver and the muscles. Now, the fats protects against the starvation of sugar, which means that it is the backup fuel for the sugar. So we want that sugar to go to the fat stores. And the only way, y'all, we can get these ketone bodies is to the fat stores. And we want those ketone bodies to go to the fat stores. But the sugar has to be depleted out or run low in that glycogen area. And that's where that liver is stored, okay? We need that body to force that fats, okay, to be utilized rather than utilizing the glucose. Okay, and then once it does that, once we get all of the sugar out of the glycogen, or it's very low, then it's forced to be used. Then it's forced to use the ketone bodies. All right. So, but anyway, and how this happens, how this can happen is that the body has to be in a form of sleeping, illnesses, starving, fasting. Because what happens is that pancreas will tell those fat cells, say, look here, you can release those fatty acids now, because now, the body is not eating, it's not doing anything because it's sleeping or it's ill now. So, and then those fat cells get taken up by the liver. And then it's converted into the ketones. See, I'm smiling now because this is what we want, y'all. We want the ketone bodies. Okay, and then when it get turned into ketones, then it's released into the blood. That's when the body says, I'm going to switch from glucose to ketone bodies. How about that? And this is being done when the leptins levels are high. And remember that leptins are that hungry signal that tells us that we are full. And leptin is setting the time for repair to clean and heal cells. And it's regenerating the fuel for energy to release the melatonin, the sex hormone, the growth hormones, the reproduction hormone, and the thyroid. It is turning the fats. Okay, it's burning the fats, and it's getting fuel for the brain. And this is what we want, y'all. Be excited. Because we want that BDNF. That means that brain-derived nerve factors. That brain-derived nerve factors began to make new brain cells for us and help us to be able to think rational and logically. All right? So, but I'm going to stop right here and then we'll start back on the next section because I don't want to bore you. I want to make sure you get the gist and even understand how our body is functioning and why it reacts and acts in the way that it does. Okay? Thank you for listening and know that I love and care for you. Have a pleasant and good day. All right?